Hey guys, it's a Patient Hodler coming at you with another video, and in this one we are going to talk about an unexpected catalyst for Ecomi and maybe also for Veve that was announced just today, and you can see it already here on the Twitter feed that I have pulled up. But let's have a deep dive into this one to fully understand or at least speculate on what we could expect from all of this. But before we start, please keep in mind that I'm a crypto and NFT investor, but not a financial advisor. So please do your own research before you ape into Ecomi and or into the Veve collectibles. Also, please give this video a like if you enjoy it, subscribe to my channel, and let me know what you think about this announcement in the comments below. The best form of helping me, of donating to me, is liking, subscribing and commenting, as it helps my channel to grow. But with that out of the way, let's get started. So today, Epiko Regal has launched this tweet and says, proud to announce our partnership with leading company in digital collectible space. We are excited to work together to open a new chapter in the Epiko Regal ecosystem. We are going to look at this ecosystem in a second. And they have tagged here Ecomi and Veve and themselves. But before we take a look at their site, let's have a look at the teaser here first. So I'm going to play it and yeah, let's watch it together. It's only 18 seconds long. So basically the teaser doesn't tell us more than we have already read out of this tweet. We have the Ecomi logo, the Veve logo and the Epiko Regal logo. So let's take a look at their site. Looking at the site, we can see that we have here something like a fantasy cross medieval game, which relates a little bit to the Oriental style, and we will see why in a second. The whole site basically has three categories: Katika, which is a series of digital motion comics, a tower defense game, which is a mobile game, and AR collectibles of all warriors, which are probably part of this game. So we can see already a little bit a relationship to Veve here, because we have digital toys and we have something comic related, but we have also a game in that system, and that is interesting to me at least. Here we can learn a little bit more about the three segments of the site. The Katika site is in fact a digital motion comic, which is basically played probably with images. We cannot click on it yet. It seems to not be out yet, so we could actually expect this to come as NFTs to Veve. We have already seen cinematics and trailers in that sense, for example in World of Warcraft, in the later expansions, for example, explaining the Illidan story in somewhat a digital motion comic. Then we have the strategic mobile game, which is a tower defense game. I will also display some videos while I'm talking here about this, so you can get an idea. You play that on your smartphone, and basically it is similar, at least from what I've seen, to the Warcraft 3 or Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne mods that we have played many years ago and that people have programmed. And then we have AR collectibles, and we can already see one of these warriors here out in the garden. So that is very similar to what we already have on the Veve app. But let's get a little bit more of an understanding where we are coming from here. So if we look at the bottom of the site, we can see here a copyright on that of Wharf Street Studios. And if we go to Wharf Street Studios, we get some more information. So I'm here on the Wharf Street Studios site, and as we can already see, this is the same style, and from just passing through the site we can get some information. The site looks really good, really modern, a style that appeals to me. Wall Street Studios is an animation studio providing design and development services. Our team excels at providing a full spectrum of services that are game design and development, 2D and 3D animation, motion graphic video, 3D modeling, AR and VR applications, project mapping, and architectural walkthrough. So everything that you need for games and digital toys, digital collectibles with AR functionality as possible. So basically this company, as we can see here, is the underlying company on that specific game, Epiko Regal, because we see here, here's the game, the mobile game, then the Katika story, which is also seemingly part of the game, and the AR collectibles that are all the products. There's no other app, no other game on the site. But now it is going to be really interesting. I'm not going to walk through all of the site, but I found this here. Basically, it has one headquarters at the UK and then also a subsidiary at Mumbai. So knowing this, I dug a little bit deeper and looked at the news section of the Epiko Regal site, and I found an article here about Venkatesh Krishnamurthy, who created that game and who is the leader of the Wall Street Ventures company that we just have looked at. And this article is basically about cinematic motion, 3D augmented reality, but he as a person is really interesting. So I looked deeper into him and I found him on LinkedIn, and it says here he is an innovator in the United Kingdom. And as we can see, he is a very modern businessman that also has already written a book here, Confidence, sponsored by Pain. I think it's a great title. I think maybe even an interesting book to pick up for me. I will look into it. And he just has some cool milestones here. Only during the pandemic, what he accomplished. And here he says again, Wall Street Studios' first product, Epiko Regal, with augmented reality, and also Wall Street Strategies' first product, Connect app, Android, iOS, and so on and so forth. And also talking about Mumbai. And when we look at his work experience, we find some really, really interesting one. He is, since December 2017, so before all of VEVE happened, a strategic advisor at Ecomi Orbis Blockchain Technologies Limited, and he still is. So he then has been founding this company, and now it makes sense that he wants to put his mobile game and his ecosystem onto Ecomi now that he saw how the VEVE success works, and maybe he can integrate with that ecosystem to push his mobile app, mobile game with the AR collectibles forward. Doesn't mean that we will see everything on the VEVE app, but it clearly makes sense to partner up here. We can also see that he already had a career as strategic advisor and chief executive officer before, and even at the strategic advisor position at Caloscope Limited, which I did not hear yet. He's only since a couple of months here, 3 months, and he is excited for the metaverse. So he has experience with metaverse, or at least with the development of strategic plans for going into metaverse. So that could be something good that he can bring knowledge to Ecomi and VEVE as well from those advisorship positions. And as we can see, he was also a blockchain advisor. And when we look here now, we can see that in the beginning he was associate process manager, assistant system engineer, and something like that in India. So he has ties to India, and that explains why his company has a subsidiary in India. And if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense, because mobile games are the real deal in Asia, and India is part of Asia, and the social economic background, the demographic structure, the income situation, and all the lifestyle of Indians are also a little bit comparable to Chinese. If you are Indian or Chinese, please don't be offended by it. I just want to bring it in a more broader scope so that we from Europe and the US can understand why mobile games are so important in Asia. So I have found this article, Why is Mobile Gaming So Popular in Asia? Link in the description of the video if you want to read all of it. And there are some interesting thoughts on why mobile gaming is such a big market, but let's look at it. So here it says, the popularity of mobile gaming is most evident in Asia. Data from Statista show that the combined shared market and revenues generated from China and the rest of Asia eclipse those generated by the US. The Asia Pacific market, including China, accounts for 72.2 billion of the global market, equivalent to almost half of the segment's total market share. Consequently, the US market is at 36.9 billion of the global market share. So it makes sense for Krishnamurti to position his company in UK from a company founding perspective and maybe from some management perspective, even maybe tax perspectives, but also have a subsidiary in India, as we know that it is easier to find not so high cost programmers, but talented programmers in India, and then to also market a game, a mobile game to India. And for Ecomi Veve, it could be big to have a strategy to come into India. As we have already talked in the videos before, localization does not only mean translate your app, but also have a marketing strategy and a spearhead into that specific market. But why is mobile gaming so popular in Asia? So one point here is that Asians are already heavy social media platform users, and most of these mobile games are either integrated in social media platforms or heavily marketed on these social media platforms. Another point here is that it takes your mind off of traffic congestion or re-energize from stressful work. And we know that in a lot of Asian countries, the work-life balance is very different from the one in Europe or in the US. And they are working insane hours and have small breaks, and that's where mobile games fit in. Also, they have gigantic cities in India and in China, and mobile games in traffic, not while driving on a steering wheel, but more while sitting a lot in a Uber-like service or in a very full train. You can pull out your mobile device and just play a little bit on the game until you have to switch train and then continue to play a little bit more. So these are some factors that relate to why these games are so popular in Asia, and that's where this company is going to position themselves, and that's also where Ecomi and Veve want to have a foot in. Now let's think about how exactly this game could integrate into the Ecomi ecosystem and also into the Veve app. So what I can think of here is that the in-game purchases are made with a currency that is built on Ecomi, like the gems in the Veve app, or even that in-game purchases are made directly with Ecomi. Now, this could be a bit limiting to the Asian market because whole China does not allow direct crypto, so probably it would be an in-game virtual currency that has not a direct relation to crypto, so there must be another way. What I can also imagine is that the warriors that we have seen here are VR, AR collectibles that are coming to the Veve app. However, I don't know if really Veve will put them on their store, as they seem to be very selective for high quality and big licensed collectibles. But yes, if we consider Mermicornos or stuff like that, it would fall into the same category. So if you have one or two of these games in this niche, then it should not affect the overall Veve brand reputation. But I hope it is really a thing that is more on Ecomi and only with a few collectibles on the Veve side, so that we can get something that locks up a tremendous amount of Ecomi and therefore makes it more scarce and drives the price up. So it would be really cool to see a whole nother project sitting on Ecomi and utilizing the OMI token and eventually having a burn mechanism where you would basically also, when you purchase something in Epiko Regal, burn Ecomi tokens. But with that said, I'm already at the end of my video, and let me know in the comments below what you think about this new partnership. Let me know if you like it or if you don't like it, and if you think it's big or more or less a little side product that doesn't really have any effects. Wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night or afternoon, and see you in the next video.